Remarkable development achievement and a swift rise from a low-income nation to an upper-middle-income one in less than 40 years after gaining its independence. We are talking about Botswana. The hidden gem of Africa that finally found a place in the sun. The administration has now unveiled Vision 2036.
Life is good, you know what I mean?
Laying out plans to get Botswana even closer to being a high-income nation and laying out an intriguing future for the country. This video will answer questions such as what natural resources massively boosted Botswana's economy? How did they utilize these resources as an advantage instead of a curse? And what makes them so different compared to other African nations? Botswana is bordered to the west and north by Namibia, to the northeast by Zambia and Zimbabwe, and to the southeast and south by South Africa. In fact, landlocked countries often have a poor record, but Botswana seems to be an exception. Against all expectations, it came up trumps. It has an abundance of mineral resources, including basic metals like copper and nickel, precious metals, and coal. Not just thermally heated coal, but additionally metallurgical coal, which is employed to make steel. It depends on agriculture and tourism in addition to mining. The nation is genuinely magical as it combines a realm of natural beauty, unspoiled landscapes, amazing wildlife, and river deltas. In 1966, Botswana was separated from Britain. They were a very impoverished nation at that point in time. Why Nations Fails authors, economists Darren Acemoglu and James A. Robinson state that the country had a total of 12 kilometers of paved roads, 22 citizens who had graduated from university, and 100 from secondary school. The economy grew well overall in the 2000s, but the global recession caused a painful decline in the demand for diamonds and ecotourism, which sent the economy into an economic downturn. Nowadays, it has the highest per capita income in the region, on par with nations like South Africa. In the 1960s, Botswana had one of the lowest GDP per capita in the region, but in the 1980s, it had started to grow, and in 2021, it had one of the highest GDP per capita in the region. This economy shines bright like a diamond. Its economic growth has been inclusive. The population living in poverty decreased almost by half, from 34.8% in 1993 to 18.2% in 2009. Zimbabwe, on the other hand, is among the poorest nations in Africa and shares a western border with Botswana. Now, you must be wondering how Botswana has achieved such a high income per capita. Let's find out. If you like this video so far, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. In the 1950s, diamonds were first found in Botswana. Its economy grew at the quickest rate in the world between 1960 and 1980, mostly due to mining. As of right now, it leads all of continental Africa in GDP per capita. 90% of its exports are attributed to the diamond sector. The mining and quarrying sector made for around 16% of its GDP in 2021. Additionally, diamond traders contributed around 1.6% to the nation's GDP that same year. Along with South Africa and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Botswana is one of Africa's top diamond producers. Diamond is Botswana's bread and butter.
Why you bring that money to the club if you ain't throwing it?
With an 8% increase in output over 2021, Botswana is now the second largest diamond producer in the world in 2022. 21% of the world's production comes from there. The top producers are South Africa, Russia, Canada, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Its diamond exports rose by 4% in 2022 compared to 2021. Seems like the government there is cracking the whip. The African nation, which will be able to export a larger share of the valuable stones, extended its mining deal with one of the biggest diamond businesses globally this summer, following years of discussions. Botswana received $2.8 billion in income from the industry just the year before, according to government figures, and this amount is anticipated to rise with the new trade agreement. But despite the fact that the nation is no longer among the poorest in the world as a result of this profitable endeavour, the severe inequality issue that still plagues this country in southern Africa has not been resolved. Watch out, Botswana. It has collaborated strongly with De Beers to extract rough diamond by means of a joint operation called Botswana since the 1960s, right after the country gained independence from the United Kingdom. This partnership has been shown to be highly advantageous for both sides. It's a win-win. Lucky them, right? These natural diamond discoveries provide special benefits for the local population. In addition to providing free primary and secondary education to all children, Botswana also guarantees the survival of its wildlife through environmental conservation efforts. The proceeds from the sale of the new diamond may support the nation's ongoing commitments. They are playing their cards right. Now, many countries have a valuable natural resource, but not all of them are able to climb the ladder of success. So what makes Botswana so successful? Actually, the answer to most economic success stories culminates in strong institutions. The Botswana Democratic Party was successful in erecting strong institutions following independence with the goal of attaining both long-term economic prosperity and stable governance. Fair elections have been held there. A stable democracy has been established since 1996. Also, it is among the least corrupt countries in Africa according to the Corruption Perceptions Index. With a score of 66, that is double the average for the whole region. It is considered the second freest economy in Africa. It has a decent legal system and a fair regulatory framework. This promotes foreign investment and makes doing business easier. Seems they are ahead of the pack.
I'm very important.
Furthermore, trade barriers are not too high, and successive administrations have been able to maintain control over the public budget. Solid political and economic institutions have played a major role in Botswana's development and contributed to making the sub-Saharan nation the most successful in the area. They have the world at their feet, no? However, institutions aren't unchangeable. If civil society doesn't hold governments responsible for their deeds, they may be compromised. The previous several years have seen a serious decline in ownership rights and an erosion of the democratic system there. This ought to act as a warning about the dangers of laziness and the necessity of maintaining the institutions that are necessary to ensure the survival of both political freedom and economic success. Otherwise, it will be like slipping the chances through their fingers. In terms of ease of doing business, Botswana is placed 87th out of 190 economies by the World Bank's yearly evaluations. From 2008 to 2019, its ease of doing business index averaged 64.83. It peaked at 87 in 2019. As a tranquil democracy, Botswana offers great investment conditions. In addition to a stable macroeconomic climate, it benefits from a stable political system and effective governance. Transparency International claims that this is the continent's most transparent country. Investors can benefit from a number of advantages offered by Botswana, such as complete reparations of earnings and dividends, no restrictions on foreign exchange, no limitations on who owns a business. In addition, imports of machinery and equipment used in production are duty-free, and the exemption from custom duties on raw materials used in items exported outside of the Southern Africa Customs Union. It also offers a liberal tax system, consisting of 22% corporation tax, 25% personal tax, and 15% corporate tax from manufacturing and registered businesses. The business environment in Botswana is moving up in the world. They had a score of 66 on the rating of ease of doing business in 2020. The nation was rated as having one of Africa's greatest business environments. In reality, it provides a somewhat advantageous business climate, especially when it comes to international trade and tax payments, where the country received 87 and 80 index points respectively. Now, you must be thinking that everything is going perfect there. What a shiny economy. But don't get your hopes up. Here is what they are hiding. They depend on one source for their income and growth, and that has disasters written all over it. Because diamonds account for more than 90% of all exports and are a significant source of government revenue, Botswana's dependency on them and its public sector-driven economic framework have over time rendered the country more susceptible to outside forces. In fact, the government debt rose dramatically between 2012 and 2023, and it peaked in 2022. Reliance on the capital-intensive mining industry leaves the economy vulnerable to shocks from across the world and keeps the industry's connections to the rest of the economy limited. Since most of the diamonds are shipped in their raw state, exports are not very sophisticated. The country's fiscal and external weaknesses have been made worse by its high reliance on minerals, massive public sector, and growing susceptibility to unfavourable climatic occurrences. It is like such problems are Botswana's ball and chain. More and more, the frequency and intensity of climate change-related events, particularly temperature increases and variations in precipitation, have impacted production and placed livelihoods in danger. This highlights the necessity of bolstering national resilience and putting investment plans in place to assist adaptation. Otherwise, this success story will be like a hollow victory. Despite its comparatively high income level, the country nevertheless has a high rate of poverty, chronically high unemployment, and a low rate of job creation. In addition to that, it has a high degree of income inequality as suggested by the GINI index. Its GINI index in 2017 was around 60, similar to South Africa and Namibia. Nevertheless, in spite of many challenges, Botswana emerges as an African hope beacon. The agricultural and mining sectors expanded there, and in the past, as its economy improved in the years following independence, its political institutions proved to be fairly beneficial, which can be seen in the government's dedication to investors. They are killing the business climate. The success of Botswana teaches us that nations are not captive to the legacy of the past. They may escape the curse of geography and the scars of colonialism if they have the proper institutional structure and policies. Botswana had a long way to go, but now we witness its comeback. Thanks for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to receive more content. See you in the next video.